Good morning, Softball America. It is Monday, March 16th. It is snowing outside right now. And we are back here on GM Gray Robertson, my partner, Tara Henry. We are presented by GoRout, the leaders in coach-to-player communication. Built by coaches for coaches, GoRout Diamond ensures that every pitch and play call you send is delivered clearly all season long. Visit www.gorout.com/shop/softball-America. Use discount code SA2026 to save $275 on your GoRout system today. We have a big show coming up. Oregon assistant coach Sam Marder will join us at the bottom of the hour, I believe. And then we've got like the hottest hitter in America joining us in seconds. Before we welcome her to the show, Tara, what do the people need to do?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Please let us know where you're tuning in from. I can already see a few of you in the chat, but make sure if you are over on YouTube to like and subscribe to this page. It really helps us out. Again, if you are listening to this live or after we've recorded, please make sure you hit the like button. If you're over on X, just retweet for us, and excited to get going. I know Gray had a fun evening, and maybe we'll get into some Oscar talk, but to be honest, I didn't watch a minute because there were just so many sports on. So I know that crushes you, Gray.
Hey, it's okay. People are allowed to do whatever they want. Maybe I'll upload a picture of me and my Marty. I should have worn my Marty Supreme jacket, but alas, no supremacy last night for Timothy Chalamet, which is a shame. However, supremacy is existing in the softball world because I'm just going to read some numbers real quick. 889. 24 for 27. Those are tied together. 12. That's RBIs. These are the stats since returning from injury for Isa Torres at Florida State. Redonkulous. She's batting .648 on the year overall, and Isa Torres is with us right now on Good Morning Softball America, the All-American from Florida State. Isa, good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning. I'm good. How are you guys?
Living life. Excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me on here.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll start because I am just been so impressed with the Isa. I know us at Softball America have been singing your praises for quite some time, but Gray just rattled off loads of numbers, which you probably does mean nothing to you. What I want to know is your mentality in the box right now. You know, you are seeing the ball big, but I want to know, like, what's your mentality right now, and has it changed, or is it the same?
As regarding numbers, I haven't heard any because I just don't want to be consumed in the numbers. I know it's like I'm doing really well and I know people are like exploding, but like me, like knowing like, okay, doing good, but like when like stuff hits the fan, like how am I going to react? So try not to get too consumed in that. As for my mentality, I think honestly, a big thing for my success right now is just gratitude. Like, I'm so grateful to be back on the field. I'm grateful that I had a minor injury that didn't lead to, season ending. So I'm just super grateful for that. And just like in the box, like I was telling people, like, I just love to hit. Like, I love to hit, but I love to compete. And I think offensively, like, that's what it is. It's competing. Like, I'm playing against some really respectable arms. And at the end of the day, like, we're just competing. They're in the circle. I'm in the box. So taking a deep breath, not taking every pitch, to be like, I have to hit this one has been huge for me in my mentality. I think just seeing pitches, being patient, and knowing like, hey, like I can hit a lot of stuff, but I got to stick to my plans has been super huge in my mentality. And I think that's why I've gotten a lot of success lately. So
Yeah, I was going to ask about just your ability to hit all types of pitches, because every highlight I see, you're hitting something different. Drop ball away, drop ball in, rise ball up. I mean, change up. Like you are able to put a good swing on every pitch that's been thrown at you during this incredible run. What is it that you do to prepare for a matchup where you're ready for anything that a pitcher is going to throw at you?
Yeah, I mean, at Florida State, I think a lot of college teams do a lot of prep. So I'm constantly seeing, the arms that we're facing. I'm looking at their patterns. I'm seeing what they like to throw in each counts. And then, obviously, physically, I'm going and hitting the machines every single day, hitting their pitches of what they're throwing, no matter if it's, their horizontal break or, their up and down break. Like I'm thinking about every single thing in order to get my swing to where it needs to be. And so honestly, just trusting in my preparation. I do a lot of preparation with our hitting coaches, Travis Wilson and Kaylee Raptor. And I think that's just been huge in my part of success, like just sticking to my plans and what I'm looking for in film and, executing that on the field. And I think it's been huge for me. I think sticking to my plans has obviously brought me a lot of success. So just honestly continuing that and continuing my preparation and seeing, like, hey, where does this pitcher like to beat hitters, and just kind of narrowing down on that. That way, it doesn't blow by me in a sense. So just my preparation and sticking to that is huge for me.
And Isa, we've talked a lot about offense, but one of parts of the game that I love watch the most is defense. And for you, what's it been like to be on the left side and taking over there and having Jasoni Beecham next to you on defense? And what do you like better, offense or defense?
Oh gosh, this is a common question I get. Personally, I love to hit. Like defense, I love playing defense, but I feel like I'm on my own little island over there, and I'm like super social, super extroverted. So any chance that I get to talk to someone like on the on deck circle or in the dugout, like I'm doing that because I just can't run away from it. But defensively, being next to Jasoni and filling obviously Josie Muffley's shoes, like it's not an easy thing to do. She's obviously very respectable. She left a legacy at Florida State that honestly no one can fill. But just continuing to kind of be myself on the field. Being Isa Torres, not trying to be Josie Muffley, trying to play the game the right way. I think that's what we pride ourselves on here at Florida State. But Jasoni, I mean, she's been my rock, honestly. We were the left side. We call ourselves cookies because we love to eat, up the defense. And so we're just like nom nom. Every time we get a good play, we're like nom nom, cookie. And so honestly, just keeping it fun and keeping it lighthearted with Jay has been so huge for me. It keeps me calm. It keeps me grounded. Seeing her smile, then translates to, we're smiling at Maren Heller, and we're just all a collective, like just having fun genuinely. Like we know this game is hard at the end of the day. We know it's not a high success rate, but the way that we're going right now, just playing the game loose, playing the game free, playing it like it's fun. I tell them all the time, like we dreamed of moments like this since we were little kids. Like, why not just go out there and make the most of it, regardless of the outcome? And I think that we've really, kind of bought into that and have just been having fun and seeing her make all those great plays. Like, I generally don't want anything more than any one of my teammates. Like, I want them to have success on the field, off the field, on defense, in the box. Like, I don't want it to be me. I want it to be my teammates in all regards, because I know the work that they put in, and I know since day one, since August, they have been putting it in. Before our trip to London, those girls were hitting in the cages, and I was like, we're about to go on vacation. What are y'all doing? But it's just been so awesome to see all their hard work come through and show up for them. And it's just such a joy for me to see. And I love being out there on the field, looking at them make all these amazing plays. And, Maren Heller made a great play yesterday, and she just tipped her cap to the fans. And I was like, wow, what a moment that I had to like be a part of. Like I was over there just looking at her tip her cap. She's a freshman. She's 18 years old, and she's tipping the cap to all the FSU fans who are just eating it up. And I was just like, wow, like who doesn't want to be here right now at Joanne Graff? Like that is awesome. So just seeing them smile, seeing them have fun. I think that's what makes my day. That's what makes it easier there at shortstop and in the box, obviously.
Okay, I have to ask, because you teed it up perfectly. Maybe the most fun and loose moment of the weekend was a viral clip of a bowling hit by pitch.
Oh my gosh!
On Anaheim. first off, what was because I see social media and the group chat is exploding. Multiple group chats are exploding. But in the dugout on the Florida State side, what was the reaction to that roll by pitch, hit by pitch? How do we want to call it?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't even know what that was, to be honest. But we do like little celebrations, and like it was honestly just an emphasis. Like it's a single, you got a hit by pitch. She moved her foot to get hit, and it was insane to watch. I mean, it was just like, I know we had someone stealing, and then all you see is just Anna's foot go a little bit behind her, and it's like dead ball, and we're like, what the heck? Like Marin sliding in the third. I'm like, sister, you just got hit. Like, yes, yes, yes. Like anything for the team. Anaheim's like, hey, I found a way, and we're like, absolutely, like anything you need to do in that box in order for us to, advance. Like, awesome. And honestly, like, she's a great power hitter. She had been seeing the ball. She had been finding the holes all throughout the game, and she just moves her foot one little inch, and she gets hit by pitch, and she just finds a way. So, like, honestly, it's what we've been talking about, like finding a way, cute or ugly. Like we're obviously not a huge home run hitting team, but we do find a way. We're very aggressive. We're very athletic. And like Anaheim showed some athleticism right there, moving her leg and getting on base. And I was like, absolutely. Like, let's do that more often. Like that was easy, but kind of scary in the moment. We didn't know how long she was going to be out, but good. She's good. So thank gosh. She's good.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, thoughts and prayers.
Yes, thank you. She needs them.
Well, last one from me. Oh man, so good.
Go ahead.
Game day routine. Do you have one? Do you eat the same thing? Like, do you have a certain schedule, or is it kind of just, you just get up and get to the ballpark?
Yeah, no, I really just get up and get to the ballpark. Anything that I need to get done. If my quads are a little tight, I'm in the training room getting those activated because, once you hit the junior year, your body starts getting a little too tight. So you gotta work your way back in. And these, young ones coming in 30 minutes before the game, and they're like, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, oof, I've been here for an hour and a half already activating my body, but whatever works for you. But no, I don't really think I have a ritual. I mean, I eat what I want to eat, whether it be a bagel or it be, pancakes in the morning, anything that's going to get me through a 7-inning game. The main thing I do consistently is just clean my cleats. I have a big thing of like looking good, play good kind of sense. So new cleats, just cleaning those, taking in that moment, having a deep breath by myself has been huge for me because it just keeps me on a routine, keeps me, in line, grounded, keeping the little things simple. So nothing too crazy, just showing up an hour and a half early to get my body ready, while the young ones roll in about 15 minutes before we got to go. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, before we let you go, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is a big matchup in Tallahassee coming up in 2 days. Texas Tech is coming to town. You've already played the Red Raiders in Clearwater. You played them in Supers last year. You've already played a ton of big games this year. But how excited are you to get another crack at Texas Tech after how close you were in Clearwater just a month ago?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we're pumped. Like, we're absolutely excited. Obviously not trying to make the game bigger than it is, but I mean, you have respectable arms over there. You have a great offensive line over there. Like, I think at the end of the day, like, we just want a good game, not only for ourselves, but for them. Like, I think we were a little disappointed in our outcome against Alabama. And, just seeing that, we totally flipped a switch and we're like, hey, like, we got to compete at the end of the day. These arms, like, they're getting better every year. And, but obviously, like, offensively, people are getting better too. So we just kind of have to be on that route, and we got to make the adjustments that we've seen them, so many times. So we got to make the adjustments. We got to roll out there, compete every single pitch, not take a pitch off, because we're going against a really good lineup and we're going against some really good arms. So we're obviously going to prep for those. But at the end of the day, keeping this a good, fun, competitive ball game in a great environment. Joanne Graff is going to be popping. Even everyone's on spring break over here at Florida State, but those people are going to roll in here on Wednesday. So we're excited to get out in front of the crowd. We're excited to have a regional feel, at Joanne Graff. We'd love to be in front of that crowd. And get these young ones to have the experience of just having that feeling, of your fans, of the best fans in the world cheering you on against the top component. So we're super excited for it. We're super excited for, everyone to see that matchup again. And we hope to give it a good game. We hope to just make it competitive and fun for sure.
Awesome. It's going to be must-see TV. Isa Torres is always must-see TV. Isa, thank you so much for joining us on Good Morning Softball America. And please tell Anna that we are thinking about her in this trying time.
I would be sure to tell her. She's probably in the training room right now getting some x-rays done or something. Thank you guys for having me on here.
Thanks, Isa. You're the best.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Oh, my goodness.
That was awesome.
So good. Oh,
I don't know how. I wasn't sure I could get more tickled than what we got last week with Meg and Jordan Woolery, but I'll tell you what, Isa Torres, the I'm glad she's okay totally threw me.
I know. It took me a second to register, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, she's got jokes. I love it. Oh my goodness, so good. Not only is she great on the field, what a great interview.
Awesome. I mean, knows her stuff, obviously. She's got the experience. She quite clearly has done this before, the media side. And you know what? She could keep doing it. I was going to, if we weren't moving on, I would have said, hey, what's your post softball life like? And is it TV? Because I kind of think she could pull it off.
Yeah. I mean, if she's not playing pro, but.
Well, and that's why, but no one plays pro forever. But I'll tell you what, Isa Torres could with numbers like 889 since her concussion.
No, like the numbers. I mean, she's leading the country in average, 648. 648. Her on base percentage, 705. That's what you want in a leadoff hitter. Any hitter.
That's really, if you exist, we would love to have a 705 OBP. That would be killer.
Oh my goodness.
Nah, she's awesome. That was great. And Florida State, Texas Tech coming up on Wednesday. I believe Kevin and Amanda are on the call, and
nice.
That'll be a lot of fun. And then they get Cal at home this weekend. So, a natural trip for ACC team California. The Golden Bears are coming to Florida. I'm sure it will be a quick flight. Yes. But I say that to kind of tee up a little West Coast love. Yeah. Because our second guest is in the waiting room.
Is she here?
She is here.
Oh my goodness.
So if we're good.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I referenced Cal to go to the West Coast, and we will stay on the West Coast and talk about a team that really, really put it together this weekend in a big-time conference sweep. The Oregon Ducks, quack, quack. Their assistant coach, Sam Marder, is joining us on Good Morning Softball America. And there she is. Hi, Sam.
Hello.
How are
you? I am great. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
So good.
Your last interview brought the energy, so I got to just keep it going. That was awesome.
Just get the coffee injection. You'll be fine.
Oh my gosh. She's fantastic. She's awesome. So that was great.
Well, Sam, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate you first and foremost. And want to talk to you about the Ducks and the offense. I know Brady has texted me, I think 4 times to ask about Elon Butler. So I'm just going to start there to make sure that we start with her because she is absolutely on fire, 30 RBIs in 14 games. So as the one that directs the hitting, I'm going to go straight there to Elon Butler and what you're seeing from her.
She's incredible. It's so funny because when we've had media ask about her, they said, have you ever seen her hit the ball that hard? I said, yes, except she was on the opposing side. We've seen it at the Jane all the time. She has constantly been crushing balls at the Jane. It's just not been for our team. And so it's so funny every time that she just goes off. Coach Lombardi look at me. She's like, I'm so happy she's on our team. And I'm like, same. So she's been just such a spark plug for us, such a light. She not only is she just an incredible hitter and so athletic and so strong. She has one of the greatest mindsets I've ever come across in a hitter. Incredibly competitive. Doesn't get rattled if she doesn't get what she wants, which I think is the real sign of an elite hitter. Has no problem just going on to the next at bat, and has obviously been a huge part of our offensive success this year. So we are very happy that she is continuing to hit bombs at the Jane, but for us.
Yeah, I want to ask about the difference from the start of the year to now, because the trip to Florida was probably not the result that the team wanted. There have been kind of the first couple weeks, a couple shaky performances, but it really seems like with the sweep of Penn State and a lot of the games that you've played lately, that the team is really rounding into form. What has helped them grow a lot from the start of the year to where they are now?
Yeah, I think just experience. For this team, we challenged them very early, and we knew that. We talked about it in the fall. We talked about it in January that our preseason was there to build us to be as tough of a team as we can possibly be. Um, and I think that the challenges that our team faced early, seeing great pitching, seeing great offenses, seeing great defenses, right? Like you have hard hit balls that just don't quite get through. You're not getting comfortable early on. And, something that I talk about with our hitters all the time is like feeling good is overrated. You don't have to feel good in order to go play great. And of course it's really nice just to be on a roll, right? But we don't have to have it in order to go play great games. I think that sometimes our feelings and our emotions can lie to us a little bit. And what was great about this team is that we learned a lot of lessons that most of the time you learn later in the season. We learned them really early on. We learned how does our team bounce back, right? We learned how to come from behind. We learned how to be successful even when we weren't getting the results that we wanted. And all those lessons we learned really early on. We just continue to tell our team, these are going to pay dividends later in the season. And what I love about this team is that they've proved to be really resilient. And I'm really proud of them for that. You have a lot of you have a lot of older players, but we didn't have a lot of, returning experience on the field. And so a lot of these guys were new. We had a lot of transfers who were new. We had a lot of people who hadn't had a lot of experience before that were on the field. And so in a way we were a young team starting off in the beginning of the year, and they've just grown. And it's been really cool to see. And I think that as we get into postseason and as we get into conference, they're going to know they faced great pitching already, right? They're going to know if we get behind, we can come back because we've done it, and it's going to pay off.
And Sam, I want to ask you about this coaching staff, because somebody was asking me just a couple days ago, Tara, if you were choosing a school and you were taking a look around the country and were to choose a staff or a place to go, Oregon was on the list for me. And I know each and every one of you differently, individually as human beings, and just really impressed with what Coach Lombardi has done. And then all four of you that I know personally, I think there's a really good vibe there. And can you just kind of elaborate on that and what it's like to go to work every day with this coaching staff?
They're the best. It's Coach Lombardi talks about this a lot. It's you want to be on a staff that you love just doing life with. And I think that's something that, coaches know. This is not just a profession. These are people you're living your life with every single day. And when you get to live your life with great human beings, it makes the really good times in our game even sweeter. It makes the hard times not as bad. And that's just something that I'm really proud of, to be at a program that embodies just having great human beings a part of it. Great human beings on staff, great human beings a part of our roster. People have asked me, what do you feel has been so great about what's led to the success of Oregon? And I'm like, I just think people like coming every single day. I think our staff loves coming to the field. I think our players love coming to the field. And that's the most important thing, right? That's what, even if you're in a little bit of a stretch where you're not getting the results you want, when you have a team that still loves coming to the field and a staff that loves coming to the field and loves working with each other, those downtimes are going to be really short. We also have a support staff that are just great human beings all around. And it just makes life really, really sweet. So it's awesome.
What did you like about, that third game against Penn State. You get the walk-off. The first two games kind of go off without a hitch, 8-2, then game 2, a run rule win. But having to show that grit and that fight that you were talking about earlier, how, I guess, validating is that as a coach to see that come through in a result like that, to get a big sweep in conference play that also might be crucial in a conference race?
Absolutely. We talked about it. Like, you can't just win series in order to win a championship in a conference. Like, you got to be able to take 3 games, which is really hard. It's hard to beat any team 3 times. And what I loved about that game is we had so many things not go our way. If you were to ask anyone on that team, we didn't play like nearly our best game. And what I loved is that our team continued just to keep our composure and just say, okay, next right thing, next right thing, next right thing. And that's a sign of a great team, right? Like, you got to be able to win games that are sloppy. And what I love is that they just continued to fight. They didn't fold no matter what was going on. They continued to, like I said, just do the next right thing, which is what we talk about. And I think that we played, our best innings were the last 2 innings. And a lot of times that's what you need in order to win games. So it was awesome. And I think, again, those are games that we're going to look back on and really say, wow, that was like important for us in the season.
And last one for me, I'm going to ask a pitching question because I know you're in charge of the hitting, but you see all the pitchers and have to face them probably during the week and all during fall. Maddie Milhorn and getting her first win this past weekend, obviously with Sokolsky and Grind and Spencer. What have you liked from seeing from your pitching staff this year?
I love those guys. I don't get to coach them very often, right? And because I'm just coaching the offense, but I get this one little time before the game where I get to do like it's what we call our little pregame, like ground balls and stuff. And I get this like 4 minutes that I get to spend with the pitchers, and it's awesome. They're such a fun group. They love each other so much, and to have a staff of pitchers who are all about passing the ball, and are so encouraging to each other, like hug each other when they come off the mound, and they don't just do it. Like, they have like genuine love for each other. It's a game changer to have a staff who feels that way about each other. Maddie is hilarious. I'm going to do a quick plug for her because she is really trying to increase her TikTok following. And so if you haven't seen her, I would recommend going and finding her
and follow her now
on TikTok and giving her a follow. Incredible content just to get a little insight to her. She's hilarious. And she's a freshman out there, just, blowing 70 easy, and she's just hilarious off the field. It's Taylor Spencer's birthday today, so a happy birthday to Taylor. An incredibly fierce competitor on the mound. All of them are incredible competitors. So I love them, and they're a really fun group to be around for sure.
Well, and you're going to be around each other for a good bit this next week on the road, because
Yes.
you've got a 3-game series at Purdue, who's playing really good ball, and then a Monday game at Indiana. What excites you about this matchup? I'm sure prep is like just starting today since you just finished a series, but what excites you about going on the road and kind of, putting this run to the test against a couple teams that are swinging it and pitching it really well?
It's going to be awesome. Again, you talk about doing life with each other. You better really love each other to spend 10 days on the road in Indiana and Illinois in March. So we are excited to go out there. And I think that all of these, we also to play Purdue, we have a Monday game against Indiana, and we play Northwestern. These are all great teams. And again, just talking about having to kind of build your resume for postseason, I think that it's going to be huge games for us when you come down the road and you talk about, hosting and things like that. Like, our teams, we know that we have to be able to go win on the road. We know we have to go be able to win other people's environments. And I think if you look at teams who make it really far, they do win on the road, and it's not just at home. And so I'm excited for this team. This team is up for the challenge. We're excited to be together. Lindsey Grind gets to go home, which is awesome. And I'm really excited for her to be able to play in front of her home fans, and we have a lot of recruits, players from all across the country, and a lot in the Midwest. And so I'm excited to bring Oregon to this part of the country, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with each other. We're going to bring some cards. We're going to bring some games. We're going to have some fun with each other. It's going to be great.
Wait, what's the go-to card game?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what is it?
You know, this team is very into spicy Uno. Coach Lombardi I don't know if you've ever heard of a game called Nerds, but
I have.
she's a big time Nerds player. Coach Alyssa Palomino could be probably ranked in the Pacific Northwest regionally for how good she is at Nerds. So we're gonna see. You know, that's what you get to do on the road, right? You get to figure out like what was everybody like, and so we're gonna find out. But I think it'll be fun to get some time with each other, get some ice cream on the road. Our team is always pretty big on that, and so it's gonna be great. This is a really fun group, so it's gonna be fun to be able to do that.
Oh, the best. Sam Marder, Oregon assistant coach, is with us on Good Morning Softball America. Sam, enjoy the road trip. Enjoy Spicy Uno, which does get really fun and crazy. And best of luck the rest of the year. Thank you so much for hopping on with us today.
Thank you. I just got to give a quick shout out to Gianni Lombardi, won a state championship this week in basketball.
Did.
Yes, and he is one of, I would say, the biggest supporters when we win. And so we're going to give a quick shout out to our boy Gianni, state champion basketball. So
I love that.
Thanks,
Isn't he pretty good at baseball too?
Yeah, baseball,
Yeah,
basketball.
really good. Yeah. Okay.
Baseball, basketball, he does a lot. And it's really cool because Coach Lombardi got to be there to see the last couple minutes of it, which big time for her as a mom. And so it was awesome. So, but we got to give a shout out to our boy. So
got to do it. I love it. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank
Good
you
to
guys
see
so
you.
much for having me.
Thanks, Sam.
Sam Martyr from Oregon. We got the sweep of Penn State this weekend, and she's right. My bad. I've neglected to mention the trip to Northwestern right after Purdue in Indiana. So, yes, lots of road time. Spicy Uno does get hectic.
I've never played. Also, I'm seeing some comments in the chat with my mic. Is it still? Can you hear me, Gray?
I mean, I've for reasons not pertaining to anything, I have my volume down today a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Just,
too many Oscar parties.
Just surviving, you know. I mean, yeah. I'm not even gonna crack
Hopefully
a joke.
you guys can hear me. Sorry about that.
Nerds is the same as okay. Yeah, it sounds fine to me. I turned it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds fine to me.
Great.
So yeah. So and kind of getting back to the Oregon of it all, you know, there was some rockiness to start the year, but Coach Martyr just talked about it. Those are the games that make you better. You would like to win them, but they certainly provide lessons that make you better down the stretch. And now it seems like we're starting to find an Oregon team that's really hitting its stride. Riley McCoy has been swinging it better lately, which is helpful as well. But I mean, Elon Butler, Ayanna Shaw, Taryn Ho, Amari Harper, the A&M transfer, has been really, really steady this year. And, you know, if they can get Elise Sokolski's ERA down a little bit, then it'll really feel like Oregon is singing. And, you know, then I think they'll have a good chance of getting back where they got last year.
Yeah, and I actually was behind the plate during their game against Tennessee. And Lindsey Grimes started that game. It was a 2-0 loss and started a little bit shaky. I think it was 4 or 5 walks in a row. The zone was very, very tight. And Tennessee played some pretty darn good defense. I think an Oregon team now that's starting to swing it a little bit better, I think it's a much different ball game. So for me, when I take a look at teams, it's not really how you start. And yes, there was a shaky start. But when you start to pick up steam and start really playing together as one, which I think Oregon is starting to do that, and we're seeing that. I agree with you, Gray. I think when you take a look at the numbers of the pitching staff, but also you got to look at what was happening during some of those games. So for me, always a big fan of the Oregon Ducks, and I think a team in the Big Ten that's always a contender. And it's UCLA, Washington, Nebraska, and Oregon at the top of the Big Ten with Purdue right there. We talked about Purdue. They're 3-0, and they're on a 13-game win streak.
Yeah, Purdue's good. I called those games when they were in Tuscaloosa in Alabama took care of them, but you could tell like Mariah Poehler is very impressive. Julia Gossett is experienced, and I know Brady's been on the All-American train for a while. Like she is, that Purdue team is for real, and Oregon cannot take that series lightly. I don't think they will, but Purdue can give them a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and 22-6 on the year. They just broke a 23-year-old record with that win streak. So that'll be a good series to watch with Oregon going on the road there.
Yeah. Oh, the chat.
I know. I hear you, Brian, but right now it's rigged up in a way that I can't really move it. So you guys are just going to have to deal with my sound at the moment. So
yeah,
sorry if it's not to your liking. I'm not going to move it because everything's going to fall.
Yeah, we can't. And with the last thing we need is another Tara microphone incident.
So you guys are just going to
It only took 3 years to get that one. Oh, gosh. Okay, so a couple things that we need to mention. A, the mid-major top 25 and the new top 25 are out. We will answer questions about that on Wednesday in the Q&A show. But go check out the new top 25 now. A little bit more movement this week and a little bit more of a mixed bag in number 1. It stays Tennessee, but the voting was closer this week.
Oh, yeah? It was closer, was it?
It was,
Who was your number 1?
I voted for Texas.
Okay.
It was not unanimous.
It was not.
Which means it was closer.
I still had Tennessee at the top there. Do we want to go over a couple things from the weekend or?
Yeah. I was just advertising. Let's go into 3-ish big things. I don't know.
Oh, wait. Advertising. Sorry.
Ooh, what you got?
I believe that the press release is up on the website. Just so everybody knows, we are partnering with Trackman. So we will have some very cool data for you all. We will implement it into our Tuesday trends, which will be out tomorrow, but we'll be able to show spin rate and take a look at some release points, spin rates, and really kind of dive into some more metrics that are important for the pitchers and should have some access across the country wherever there is a Trackman machine. Some really cool stuff. You can even watch a game live to see. You can kind of see what pitch has been thrown because it's before the broadcast. We'll see exit velocities. We'll see how far a ball is hit, the angle, launch angle is what it's hit. So just bringing you all some more information and starting with Trackman data. It is on the site, right?
I don't see it.
Oh. That's why I was trying to stop there's nothing on the site. Well, we're partnering with Trackman, everybody.
Woo! But Fang knew about it. It's because he said it in the chat, so I figured it was out there somewhere. Did we tweet it? I haven't been looking at my phone much today.
Well, we're partnering with Trackman. There we go. Breaking news: Softball America and Trackman.
Yes.
Is it the little
okay.
Emoji?
An article has been posted. It is just not on the main page. So Brady, if you're watching, let's put it on the main page. It has been tweeted, so I will retweet that. You're not going crazy.
Spin rate, launch angle, how far a ball was hit. There we go. Thanks. In the chat.
Got it done. Okay, perfect. Do you want to dive into some weekend things?
Sure.
Okay, the first bullet point I have is the return of Carlin Pickens. First off, Tennessee. Well done. The tweet, just that the shadow teaser with no caption, that excellent. Everyone knows what it is, but it brings the mystique up. Just good stuff. She comes and gives up a solo home run. That's the only hit she allows. She wins game 3 for Tennessee. Tennessee does take their first loss of the year in game 2, and through 2 games didn't score in regulation. They won in game 1, 3-1 in 9 innings. But Carlin Pickens being back is obviously a gigantic story. I think maybe the second biggest story is how well Mississippi State played. Peja Gould has the goods. Taylor Troutman was hitting for power all weekend. The offense had struggles against the top ERA in the country. Guess what? That will happen every now and then. But I really love the way that Mississippi State fought and played, and I think that they said a lot.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think both those things. You take a look at Mississippi State's pitching staff, just really impressed. Low scoring series in general, and they were in each one of those ball games. So a good test for Tennessee and for the Lady Vols to use. I just was honestly, Gray, I just was really surprised that Carlin went the distance
Me
coming
too.
back from injury. I was very surprised, and I know she asked Coach Weekly to stay in and was listening to the post-game presser. I just was, I really was shocked that she threw the entire game. And I agree with you. I think you can't say enough about Mississippi State and what they did in the portal in this offseason because that pitching staff is lethal. I think they can do so many things. And then paired with Taryn Mowat, the pitching coach at Mississippi State, just very, very impressed in terms of the SEC. Also, Florida dominated, and then Texas A&M for me taking the series at LSU and Baton Rouge. I think that's those are my three things in the SEC. Anything else?
Monday night softball tonight, A&M and LSU. So we're just blowing through. Okay, what are your thoughts on Alabama Arkansas? Because I called the series and I've talked about it a lot. You watched it. What do you think?
For me, gosh, you know how I felt about Alabama. From the beginning of this season. I think it was a gritty weekend. I know there was just, for me, Jocelyn Brisky. Again, we've talked a lot about Vic Moten and what she's been able to do, but Brisky, to see her excel and then just getting different performances all up and down the lineup. I think Bama is a team to be reckoned with. I was impressed. Again, it was a gritty win, and winning 2 out of 3 series in the SEC is so important. And so for Arkansas, tough but I also think it's just really, really difficult to play in Rhodes. And so, I mean, what were your thoughts, Greg? You were there in person, seeing it, calling it, there every minute of it.
It was a feisty series.
Yeah.
Like it was feisty. There was a lot of stuff that happened, a lot of checking of the rule book. I've never leafed through the physical rule book harder.
Wait, that was a wild play. Can you wait? I know you voice noted me. Can you go through that actual play quickly to talk about what happened and how Courtney was able to challenge, even though it was an illegal pitch?
Yes. So I should have, the rule book's in there. I could have pulled up the rule. Okay, so there was it was, I think, first and third. Jenna Young was in the left-handed batter's box, wild pitch by Arkansas that goes back to the backstop. It ricochets off the backstop ferociously right back to Candy Miller. Anna Roman is coming home. Jenna Young steps out of the batter's box and then steps back into it. Anna Roman comes in, slides in safely. Candy Miller's tag wouldn't have been close. But also, Jenna Young stepped back out and stepped back in. So I'm looking, Courtney Daffel comes out and challenges for interference. I pull out the rule book and I go to batter interference on the page. I believe it was page 105 in the new rule book. And then there's a specific scenario that talks about plays at the plate and how you have to go. You just have to get, if you're the batter, if there's a play at the plate, you just got to skedaddle. And it included a line that, unfortunately, I felt bad because Tal was like, well, but, as a hitter, the batter's box is your sanctuary. And I said, actually, it says right here, the batter's box is not a sanctuary for the batter, in italics. And she's like, well, you learn something new every day. We had a good laugh about that. But based on the rule, Anna Roman would be out and Jenna Young would still be at the plate, and the other, I think it might have been bases loaded, and the other runners would have to go back to their previous base. However, an illegal pitch was called on that pitch. Now, in that scenario, Patrick Murphy can take either the result of the play or the illegal pitch. And the other issue was I'm not necessarily sure that an illegal pitch being called based on what the coaches told me, it doesn't sound like either coach was communicated properly that an illegal pitch has been called. I think Coach Murphy saw it because he was right there as the third base coach. But Courtney Deifel had no clue that an illegal pitch had been called. And so then you have a scenario where if it is safe and the challenge is unsuccessful for Courtney Deifel, Patrick Murphy will take the result of the play, or if it is overturned like it was properly by rule, good job by the video center and a great challenge by Courtney Deifel, then you take the illegal pitch, which makes it a 3-2 count for Jenny Young, and everybody goes back. It was very confusing, I think, to the general public. I did appreciate that the crew chief, Lyndon Baptiste, communicated why the illegal pitch, was sending everybody back. Typically, you don't get a ton of that from the umpires, but it was still interesting in venue to see a lot of people really have no idea what was going on. And I think the worst, I did feel bad because when I realized that I had properly found the rule and we had nailed it on TV about the interference, Tal and I looked at each other and high-fived because, it's one of those moments, like sometimes you can't find it in time in the rule book. Sometimes you look up the wrong thing, but we had found it word for word exactly what the scenario was going to be. And then our producer told us, hey, this is what the call is going to be. And we high five. Well, naturally, the Alabama fans are watching the TV booth and they see Alabama 3-time All-American Kaylee Tao high five, and they get excited because they think that Anna Roman is about to be ruled safe. And that was not the case. We were excited because we had made good TV, not because of the result of the play. That was funny because then they turned around and they were angry.
Oh, well, you can't win them all. No, I was actually really impressed. I was watching that game and your sound was on the floor box actually during that. And so I know. I was listening.
Thank you for choosing me.
Yeah. And, it was really quick. Like you found that rule. I mean, that is rare and spot on, correct. That whole thing was just, it took so long. And I was just confused as to why they even allowed Courtney to challenge the whole kind of scenario if they knew it was an illegal pitch. But then I understood that he was going to take, if it was reviewed and called safe or she was called out or whatever, if it was interference. But yeah, that was a wild one. That was a rule book. We could do that as next summer. We could use that play to do some educational material.
Great. It was a 37-minute inning. It was the best. What made the illegal pitch an illegal pitch? It was a couple times, actually. Palazzi was called for it. Timmerman was called for it. Burnham was called for it at various times throughout the weekend. No one called for it on Sunday. But it's the slide, the foot slide.
Replant.
Yeah, that piece before pitching, sliding in front of the rubber. So that was something. I will say this as a play-by-play person, I will admit I am not the sharpest at picking up what is now an illegal pitch live as it happens because we're watching so many other things. So many thanks to both coaches for filling us in on that, because also, when you don't necessarily know what you're looking for and you only get one quick shot at a replay, sometimes you still miss it. So that was a little confusing, but it just added to a bonkers day. And I think Arkansas is quite good. Dakota Kennedy is that girl.
Woo, she
is so talented. Dadgum.
Yeah. Anything else in the SEC? Florida, it's at the top of the SEC, 6-0. Texas was also 6-0. And then the Sooners with a sweep of Auburn. That was a wild series as well. The second game, the drop fly ball in the outfield, with Auburn with the lead there. You just can't give a team like Oklahoma 4 outs in an inning. And then Kendall Wells, just 2 home runs in an inning?
Look,
insane.
If you're going to be...
I think she's going to be freshman player of the year.
I think my pick is... the streak is over. My pick is fading from... That's okay. We can't... Look, this is the longest I've ever batted 1,000 before. I'll take 750. Look, if you're going to take down one of these top 8 teams, top 10 teams in America, you cannot have the mental breakdowns like Auburn did. That the drop fly ball that ended the game. The game was over as soon as that happened. There was no shot for Auburn to come back and win. You just can't make those types of mistakes. I thought Oklahoma did a really great job of just pouncing. And they've been the best at this for so long. If there is an inch, they take 15 miles. I mean, it's really remarkable the way that they're able to capitalize on mistake pitches, on mental issues, on an error that comes on just the classic brain fart, like anything like that. Oklahoma is able to pounce, and they're also able to hit the good stuff. You look at some of the home runs off S.J. Guerin in game one, those were not bad pitches. Cassidy Pickering going up and getting a rise ball up and in. That's probably not the pitch to throw to Cassidy Pickering, but it wasn't a bad pitch. And they did exactly what you're supposed to do when you're an elite team, which is crush an opponent if they make a mistake. And Oklahoma is the king and queen of that in college softball, 100%.
Yep. Anything else in the SEC? Anywhere else you want to go?
Well, we should talk about Texas Tech, Arizona.
Ooh.
For a little bit here,
yes.
Since we got about 7 minutes to go. First off, Jalen Adams. I owe you an apology. I was unfamiliar with your game. I mean, I was familiar. I've watched you, from the Iowa days and a good bit this year as well. But the game one performance, chef's kiss. That was awesome. And she shut down Texas Tech. Nyjah got rocked in game one, straight up. Grace Jenkins, 7 RBIs, first grand slam Nyjah's given up in her career. Then you get the next day, a doubleheader. Arizona is up 6-1. We're all looking around like, what is this? And then I think Texas Tech outscored them, was it like 21-0 the rest of that game and the next game or something along those lines? Just really impressive bounce back by the Red Raiders. Nyjah, Caitlin Terry, they all, Samantha Lincoln holding it down in game two was crucial too.
Yep.
Just really, really good grittiness from Texas Tech that they needed to show. That showed me a little bit more about their team mentality that maybe I hadn't seen as of yet this year, but we certainly saw it this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, what a start for Arizona. And then for Texas Tech to bounce back, be resilient. I've been so impressed with Caitlin Terry. Gray, that lineup, when I spoke to Jerry Glasgow at Clearwater, he was just saying, hey, listen, the toughest part is figuring out who to play. And I don't know that they've had the same lineup in every single game this season. I don't think they have. I can check that. I'm still on game 15, but I don't think they've had the same lineup. We've got this same 3 cast of characters, and Davis, Williams, and Pennell. But for me, obviously Nyjah is Nyjah. Caitlin Terry and what she's doing on both sides as a hitter, as a pitcher, I have just been so impressed. And her transferring over from UCLA and moving up to the 2 spot and driving the ball I must say I've been most impressed with Caitlin Terry and her performance for Texas Tech. Not saying that not Nyjah, but for me, she's the one that has some really crazy numbers and has improved significantly since heading over there.
Trying to see if there is some more just chaos in the ACC.
Oh,
Duke taking down Virginia Tech in that series. Virginia, Georgia Tech was really fun. The final undefeated team is Grand Canyon. Hello, Lopes. Doing the thing. And Arizona State over Oklahoma State and Baylor over UCF. Interesting weekend in the Big 12. I know Texas Tech lost a game from Arizona, but the pathway is getting kind of cleared out by everybody else just dropping games to other Big 12 teams.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma State dropping their second series in the Big 12, like you said, Gray. And again, we'll have head coach Glenn Moore on our Q&A show on Wednesday. They had some travel issues getting back from Orlando. So again, we'll have Coach Moore on the show Wednesday. So if you have any questions for him, please let us know. But yeah, some madness in the Big 12. Like you said, the ACC, Notre Dame taking the series from Stanford. who's 5-4.
Tough start to ACC play for Stanford.
Really tough. And then
Don't like
Clemson taking the series from Louisville, and that's our second series in a row. They head to Notre Dame this weekend. So again, I'm a huge fan of John Rittman, Coach John Rittman. I think he does a really nice job with that team. They might not be at their best in the beginning of the season, but they're starting to come together and play some pretty good softball.
Let's see if there is anything else that I'm missing, because we had a little extra time today at the very end. Many thanks to Isa Torres and Sam Marder for popping on.
Oh, anything from the Big Ten, UCLA?
I really liked how Nebraska played against Michigan. You know, those were 3 tricky games. Michigan always is a threat to pop up and swipe a game from one of those top tier Big Ten teams. We've seen them go on great runs in the Big Ten tournament and beat UCLA and, you know, get some of those big wins. But Nebraska really kind of held them at bay. There were a couple sticky moments, but for the most part, I think the way that Nebraska utilized the Jensen from duo in different roles all weekend was really, really effective. And I think sweeping Michigan this year is a big deal, because it just that had the vibe of a 2-1 Nebraska series, and they just never really let it get there.
Yeah, and again, even McGee in the circle for Nebraska. For me, I just have been really impressed with Nebraska's offense thus far. And again, you got UCLA, Washington, Nebraska, and Oregon sitting at the top of the Big Ten with a couple really pivotal weekends here to come. Also, some mid-major news. Stetson leaves North Florida. That was a big series. Cal State Fullerton and Hawaii played like 2.5 games yesterday because of weather. Fullerton, the Titans, ended up taking that from the Wahine, but that was wild. I think they almost played on 2.5 games. That's what it looked like. They had delayed a game, and then they played a doubleheader, and it was 1-1 going into the third game, and then Fullerton ultimately took the series win. But that was kind of wild there out on the West Coast.
ECU taking down FAU.
Ooh,
big weekend for the Pirates. Shout out to Avery Barton and Mercer, who went, I believe, 7 for 9 this weekend with 7 RBIs. Really good weekend for Avery Barton, for De Beers.
Anything else?
I'm trying to see. It's, you know, make sure we didn't. Belmont did the thing again. I think Maya Johnson, 35 strikeouts against Evansville. All good things.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else? Did I miss anything?
No, if we missed anything, everybody, we'll get to it on Wednesday.
You know, and I see some people talking about awards races. We're going to save that for 2 weeks from now. We'll talk about national award when we're actually truly in kind of the middle of the year. We'll talk about some national awards, some conference awards, all that fun stuff. Also, Mark, thank you for that comment. It was very nice. He said something nice about me.
You did? Oh,
yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
I appreciate it. Mark Melanson, 5905. Thank you. We work very hard. We just want to put good shows out there. That's all we want. And Tao, for her first shows of the year, crushed it. I work with a good partner. We will be back Wednesday at 10 Central, 11 Eastern.
Yeah, does that work for you? Does that
Works
work
for
for
me.
everybody in the chat? I know it's a little different time on Wednesdays. We go a little bit earlier, but it's actually morning.
Yes. Well, and will everyone be recovered from St. Patrick's Day on Tuesday? Yes.
Oh, it's right. It's St. Patty's Day. You know all the activities, Gray. I need to get on Gray's social calendar here. I missed all the Oscars.
I only know it's St. Patrick's Day because I woke up not long ago to a text from Allie Shipman that said, "Hey, are we wearing green tomorrow? Because we'll be on the call for Alabama and Louisiana Monroe." And I said, "Why?" And then she told me St. Patrick's Day. I'll give you some movies to watch. If anyone has any Oscar takes, leave them in the chat. But honestly, kind of thought we would have seen some in the chat already. It's okay.
I know you're so upset.
It's all right. Shout out to Sinners. What a time. One battle. Top tier. Oh, Annie. St. Patrick's Day is her birthday.
Happy birthday tomorrow, Annie.
Yes. We hope all of you enjoy a lucky Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day, And
Your accents are so fun.
we're not
You
going to
should hear his British accent, guys. It is so good. Oh my goodness.
It popped out last night for reasons
goodness.
unclear. For my partner, Tara Henry, I am Gray Robertson. Thank you for joining us on Good Morning Softball America, presented by our friends at GoRout. Go check them out. I'll read the link again, www.gorout.com/shop/softball-America. Use discount code SA2026 to save $275 on your GoRout system today. Happy birthday to golfing librarian Mark. There is always time for movies during softball season. That's why we fall asleep at 3 a.m. For Tara, I'm Gray. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Softball America. Many thanks to Sam Marder and Isa Torres for being fantastic guests on this show. We will see all of you for the Q&A episode on Wednesday.
With Glenn Moore, don't forget.
With Glenn Moore.